What is going on, Panther Lair? We are back talking about the Pittsburgh Panthers' home loss to the Virginia Cavaliers this past Monday night. Now, I want to take a look at something that I did after their game against the Clemson Tigers, and that is a breakdown of whether or not Pitt is actually running offense versus whether or not they are just not executing their offense. Again, I think it's a little bit of both. We're going to take a look at why. I got 4 possessions for you guys, 2 of which are from the game against Virginia, but these first 2 are going to be examples of when their offense did work. So this is a set in action that they kind of ran over the last 5 or so games. First, starting here against the Clemson Tigers. Now, basically what this is going to be that chin screen that Guillermo Diaz-Graham is about to set here for Jalen Lowe. Lowe is going to pull over to the corner down here. Guillermo is going to set a ball screen here for Ishmael Leggett, then quickly slip. He's going to vacate this space, and it's going to allow Leggett to attack into what is now a double gap with his dominant hand towards the paint. So this is pretty good design, pretty good execution, mostly because you just have 2 guys vacating space. So there is no need to actually screen anybody here. You just are basically quickly running towards, like you're going to set a screen, fading a screen, go screen, whatever you want to have it, and then immediately vacating the area. And you can see now we have this big double gap. Leggett is attacking into the sink here with this defender going with Diaz-Graham and gets a layup. Now that should stand out on tape a little bit. So here we go. Syracuse Orange going to be the same thing. This time Cam Corrin is going to set that chin screen for Lowe. Again, we want to get Leggett going to his right into a double gap to drive. Except this time you're going to see that Eddie Lampkin is in a drop when this happens. So he's going to be able to step up a little bit more in the paint on Leggett's drive. The adjustment here being that Leggett hits a nice running floater. So here they go, early in the game against the Virginia Cavaliers, and now we see Pitt trying to run that same action here. So here comes that chin screen from Corrin for Lowe. He goes to the corner, but Virginia pretty well studied here, because what they're going to do is they are going to hedge this and not allow Leggett to get over top. Now, what this demonstrates is when this does not work out, Pitt just has nothing else going on. For starters, Corrin is rolling completely backpedaling here into a defender and is unable to separate from Leggett's defender. He is a non-option to get the ball here. The best that could maybe happen is maybe he jumps up, catches, and makes a quick drop like pocket pass to a cutting Leggett for a layup. I just don't see that happening at all. And the other thing that could potentially happen is as Leggett looks to drive here, Zach Austin, who does not shoot 3-pointers from the left side of the floor very well, I've talked about that a lot. Maybe Corrin can at least seal in both these guys, or just Buchanan here to allow an Austin clean look here at a 3. Instead, he just drives, tries the snake, and Damian Dunn does not anticipate the kick-out pass, and this turns into a turnover. Okay, so this is a few possessions earlier than this, but not exactly the same setup. They're now running this action. This is just going to kind of be a pitch ahead, and Leggett's going to clear, and then Corrin is going to come up, and he's just going to go screen and clear. So this time now you have Lowe here going to be driving into the space. But a couple things with that. One, Lowe is not a great driver to his right, and you're also going to see, again, this is hedged just enough. Now, a couple things here. I don't know what Corrin is doing. Like, I understand he's continuing onto this route, and I think the design is to now try to take Leggett's defender into the post. So not the worst scenario. I feel like Pitt does a lot to try to establish Corrin early in the game on the low block for whatever reason, but he's not available to do anything with pass. If he catches the ball here, he's likely just going to take out this defender, probably draw a charge. He's unlikely to catch this, be able to process quickly, put the ball on the floor, and then get to the rim. Yes, he can short roll, but not with a path like this. So this goes to Leggett. Now here, clearly Austin is wide open. But I feel like Pitt sometimes is so locked into whatever it is they're trying to actually run here in some kind of like weird triangle, they are not going to just process the fact that Zach Austin, whose only 3-pointer in this game is pretty much from this exact spot right here, and he shoots the ball pretty well from the right side of the floor, is wide open. Instead, they go into Corrin, who did not create any type of mismatch anyways. He gets very little, tries to run some two-man game with Lowe. These side pick and roll handoffs are just not good for Pitt. I don't know why they run them as often as they do. And end up Lowe and gets a switch. So Lowe gets a switch. He attacks the switch, which is good. But I mean, here we are, 9 seconds left on the shot clock, and Lowe's about to go one-on-one. So this is why the offense consistently looks like this, because after their first thing they were trying to do yields nothing, then they just robotically go into, well, here's the second thing, maybe, and they just don't make good reads for who possibly could be open. And now you have Lowe. And look, Lowe's a very good player, so him going to his left, attacking a big, is like certainly a reasonable option 3 minutes into the game. But it's just one of those things where after a while, good teams are going to adjust for this. You're not always going to be able to get all the way to the basket like this. Pitt has to do a better job of looking at other options outside of, well, if this initial action doesn't happen, because good teams continuously run offense and allows them to generate not just one look, but a second or a third look. And you're going to see that as I talk about Virginia's offense here in another video in this breakdown.